I'm Beatrix Busse. I'm an activist for education and research. That's how I would label myself. And for well-being as well. I'm an entrepreneur in a way. And with this mission, I'm the Vice-Rector for Teaching and Learning at Cologne University and also in charge of the European University for Wellbeing, in short, EUniWell. And well, I started off as a linguist, and I'm still a linguist at heart in English linguistics. I really like it here, and I think, well, I had some expectations in the sense of this is really cutting edge, but what I'm feeling now, although it's still very young here in Europe, I think, I'm feeling now is that you really have found the cutting edge topics, the topics that we have to deal with now, and also invited many people from different areas, disciplines, from different sectors, which I find very important. And I do think that these events are so important because we have to gather, we have to see what others are doing, we have to have the opportunities to exchange, especially after COVID, of course, but also before. For me, this is also somehow a co-creating event, so getting input, but also talking to people and so on. So I think it's very, very important. But also with the courage to choose these very cutting edge, somehow controversial topics and so on. That's what we have to do now as educators and as visionaries and visionaries of learning. Oh, there are a lot of things, and in EUniWell we have said, for example, so in the European University for Wellbeing, we have said we want to be the employer of the future. Now, this is kind of big and ambitious, but we think this addresses all missions, first of all, in research, in education, in transfer, innovation, all actors, so also students, of course, and the management team, from the technician to the in German Hausmeister and so on. So, you know, this is a crucial part now. We are in competition of resources, of people. We need to attract people. We need to be able to, show that we fulfill our social responsibility. I mean, as being part of society. So that's the condition. Now you ask me what universities need to do. I think the main part is that we have to acknowledge the fact that there are multidimensional diversified career paths for all. So there is a bit of a focus on research, although I'm adamant when it comes to research. But given the complexities we have to deal with, also with regard to topics, any voice, any expertise is important now. From, you know, the expert in the curation of data to the disciplinary expert in my field now, corpus linguistics, for example. So we need teams, and for that we need expertise, skilling and training. And also the reward for that, if people want to do this, if people want to focus for some time on education, on developing a new course, or on going into management because they feel in a certain position or role, I can push forward change, then that needs to be honored. And there we need diversity as well. It can't just be the women doing the work because, you know, there are fewer and therefore they have to do more work and so on. So all sorts of issues. That's how we can do it, but also by using our unique selling point, I think, of universities, which for me is this research-based fact that we do research and at the same time transfer it to education. This is unique to universities and we have to sell that even better. So for me, it's no longer just excellence and inclusion. I would replace excellence by mastery, inclusion, and well-being. Yes, I have, especially after the pandemic. And I mean, there are all sorts of research that has been done both generally in Europe, in Germany, for individual universities. They all show this, that mental health issues from distress to real problems to real diseases, if you look at the dimensions, have increased. So that's quite something, I have to say, and this is something we have to address and take really seriously. So we, within EUniWell, create well-being offices with different formats of talking to students online, in physical presence, with peers, so that we really address the issues that we, there's help, there's support, there's guidance, there is just an opportunity to talk. There are also role models who talk about their own mental health issues. I mean, for all of us, this period was really something. We really looked into the kitchens of everybody, literally speaking, through Zoom and so on. And yes, and we need to do something. But for me, the mental health issue is more complex, more comprehensive, more holistic. That's why we define well-being not just as mental health or focusing on health, but also as improving the well-being of the individual, society, and the planet. And we, in EUniWell, focus on health, but also on social and individual well-being, on teacher education, on language, multilingualism, for example, and also on, for example, how we deal with climate issues in urban spaces, for example. Because our youth tells us what is at stake, and we need to take this very seriously and do something and push things forward now. This is like, in football, when you get the final goal and you just hit it. This is the question for me if you are leading a European university for well-being. For me, this is important, has to be holistic for all dimensions, teaching, research, as I said before, and for all agents, really, for everybody. This is now, and we shouldn't shy away from this, saying, oh, well-being is just wellness or it's just not important. No, it's crucial to do research on this, to have this holistic view, and to take everybody now and co-create what and how we can find measures and solutions. That's what I would say.